Hi, and welcome to Clean Out the Fridge Night. I'm Shandi Borup, and welcome to my kitchen. And this is a really fun Clean Out the Fridge because I've been making holiday dishes all week for in the Holiday Fuel for a Healthier You program. So we have got some really yummy leftovers, and we're just going to have this buffet tonight. But first, I want to talk about pears because pears are great, this season. Again, they have, they're a fruit that contains, a lot of fiber. They have a lot of vitamins and minerals that are really good for your body. So how do you tell if a pear is ripe? So I used to think that you just felt the, around the outside, but how you tell is up by the stem. If it is soft to the touch, they're ripe, ready to go. So they're going to be harder down here, but like this one, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's like, it is definitely ready to eat. And so when I was at the store earlier this week, I noticed there were like 8 different varieties of pears. And I was only familiar with like Bartlett pears and Asian pears, but some of these, so I bought one of each, and so tonight it's Pears 101, and so I've got them back here on my counter, and I want to show you just all about these pears. So the first one I have, and so this one that I was holding is a red Bartlett, and then right over here next to it we have Asian pears. Now you probably didn't know this, but there are different types of Asian pears. This is a yellow Asian pear, and hence the color, and a brown Asian pear. So they look more like an apple, but they're wonderful as well. And then over here, this is the one that you probably recognize the most, which is a Bartlett pear. And then next we have a Bosch pear, and the next one is a D'Anjou pear. And there's 2 different varieties. We have one that's green, and then the next one, this is a red D'Anjou. And then last over here, this bright yellow guy is a Comus pear. So my challenge to you is to try some new pears. So the bowl that I'm making tonight is it's got pecans and pears and greens. We're just going to have this wonderful green salad with all of our leftovers. So I'm going to show you some of the leftovers I'm going to put in the oven just to reheat. This is some squash spears that I made. They're just coated with a bunch of really yummy spices like thyme and oregano. And then I made a cashew Parmesan cheese that I just keep some in my fridge all the time. It lasts several weeks. And it's just coated in there, and they're wonderful at the homemade ranch or a pesto. And so I'm just going to put these in the oven just to warm them up. And so for this bowl, we're going to start out with just a bunch of greens, and then I just toasted some pecans in a dry skillet, and then I just finely chopped them. And so I've got those as well. And then we're just going to make the sauce that goes over this. So you just start out with some olive oil. This is another great job to get your kids in the kitchen because they're going to shake this. And then we're going to add a little bit of maple syrup. And then we have some white wine vinegar, some apple cider vinegar. You can substitute those, just have all apple cider. You can just do whatever you want. There, we've got some Dijon mustard here. And then some thyme. And then just some cayenne pepper to taste. We love a kick. So, and then instead of using salt, I'm going to use some kelp. And then I'm just going to put just a pinch of salt in. And then that's it. That's what you're going to do is just put the lid on this, and we're going to shake this up. And then what you would do is just taste this and, you know, season it, you know, add whatever it needs for your liking. But as you can see, it just starts creating like a thicker dressing, if you will. So I am just going to taste this really quick. It's awesome. It's got that combination of sour, a little bit of mustard taste, a little bit of sweet from the maple syrup. And so now we're just going to, it calls for a couple of pears. I kind of cut it in half because you only want to put dressing on the amount of greens that you're going to eat. So I'm just going to pick out this red D'Anjou pear that I was showing you is super ripe. So I'm just going to chop it right up. I'm going to, and a lot of times, you know, your pecans or your nuts will like go to the bottom, and so I will tend to mix it with the dressing or the sauce, and they adhere to the lettuce a little bit better. Let's just put it that way. And so yeah, you can see how beautiful this is inside, and I'm just going to chop it up in bite-sized pieces here. Another great thing, you know, just about pecans is pecans, you know, they're just a really good source. You know, we need energy and during the holidays because there's extra demands on our time. And so one thing I love about eating nuts is they just really provide some good energy for the body. They're high in protein, lots of antioxidants in nuts. And so I'm just going to add these pears right in. And I'm going to put the pecans, actually, I think the pecans are going to stick to the pears. So, and get my little mixers here. And then I'm just going to add this on here again, and then I would just toss this. And super, super simple, beautiful fall bowl to add to, you know, basically any dinner. But you can just see the beautiful colors in here. And so I just want to show you what else was in my fridge. So we made, earlier this week, we made a quinoa stuffing. And so those who are sensitive to gluten or can't eat gluten, this is a great way to enjoy holiday stuffing. So I'm going to heat this up, and I love pumpkin, you know, and we don't have to just eat pumpkin on holidays, right? Pumpkin is a great vegetable. It's, you know, squash, so it's one of those foods that really fills you up and gives you energy. And so I'll be right back. I'm going to grab this out of the oven. So these spears are all heated through and ready to go. And then, so I made some pumpkin hummus, and it's just a great, and it's got a little kick to it. So we'll just add some sliced cucumbers there and enjoy that. And then some Brussels sprouts made with some sun-dried tomato pesto. And so you can just see I've just got a little bit. These are the type of dishes that get kind of lost in the back of the fridge, and then you find them weeks later and you're like, bummer, man, I couldn't eat that because it's now a molded science experiment. So that's why it's great to clean out your fridge, you know, once a week. And it's estimated that we throw out 40 to 50% of the fresh produce that we buy across the country. And that is enough to fill the amount of, you know, fresh waste that we throw away can fill the Rose Bowl every single day. And that is super sad. And that's why it has to start with you in your kitchen, your family. And not only is not wasting food great for the environment, but it's great for your body too, because you're going to be eating the food when it's at the higher nutrient content. And so then we made some homemade, I've got some homemade cranberry sauce, and that's one thing I love at the holidays. And so why just eat it a couple days a year, right? So I will just add a spoonful on top of the dressing when I serve it, and it just complements each other. It's wonderful. And then of course I've got sauerkraut, because it's really good to eat fermented foods every single day to help balance your gut bacteria so that you can stay well during the holidays. And all of these things are, because they are whole foods, it is going to send the message to your body, that into your brain, that you are satisfied, which is going to help you keep your waistline also. And then I made it, this is a no-bake apple tart, super simple, really quick, with dates and walnuts are the crust, and then you cook the apples, and it's got cinnamon and some currants, and you can top this with some coconut vanilla ice cream or some coconut whipped cream. So we're gonna have a little bit of that for dessert. I even had some for breakfast this morning. And so a couple other things that I wanted to talk to you about also is that, pomegranates are in season, and they're super simple to cut this pomegranate open. I remember I used to open them like this, and they would splatter everywhere. All you do is immerse this in a bowl of water, cut it in the water, and then you just take this and open it up again in the water and take out the seeds. Then you can strain them in a strainer, and then you have pomegranate seeds without stained clothing. So that's my tip on that. But I've got some here, and I just love topping things with these, because it just makes such a pretty fall holiday. So I will just put those again on top of this, and you can just see how pretty that is. And just, remember that, back to cranberries, I just want to talk about cranberries. They're famous, of course, for protecting us against urinary tract infections. They're also full of antioxidants. They promote digestion as well, and they support our heart health, and they lower cholesterol. So they're just packed, unfortunately, when you buy them already prepared in the can, they are loaded with sugar. And so the sugar is going to, not be a good thing. So the benefit of making your own is that you can control the amount of sugar. And I use local raw honey, which also, is a whole food that my body can use. And it turns out amazing. And if you want this smoother, you could run it through your, pulse it in your food processor to make a more smoother cranberry sauce. And you can use less water if you want to make it thicker. But I challenge you to make your own cranberry sauce this holiday season as well. And then, so if you don't do it tonight, make sure that you pick a day and clean out your fridge and just have fun with everything that's in there. Make some great new combinations. And I hope that you will, that you learn something tonight. I will post this recipe in the group for this pecan pear bowl that I just prepared. And just remember to have fun this holiday season, do a lot of belly breathing, drink a lot of water, and enjoy this time. And, as you get back in the kitchen, you're going to take charge of your health, and you're going to discover that whole foods taste amazing, and you can make some amazing dishes in very little time in your own kitchen. So thanks for joining me tonight, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.